welcome back to MIA TV. Today we're looking at indicators for piking. Now obviously we're out pike fishing, it's middle of winter, we've had some really cold frosts, and so as I said, we're out now and we're trying to catch a few pike. We've been quite lucky this morning. Well, I've had two, and about 4 or 5 pounder and a 12-pound 6 I think it was. But indicators are, you know, a very important thing. You know, one thing that we don't want to happen when we're pike fishing is to deep hook fish. And if you deep hook a pike, they're very delicate creatures, and the chances are they won't survive it. So what we need to do is have a registration system that picks up the first indications of interest from an Essex lucius. So, as I said, we're looking at these Fox drop-off indicators. Now, this Fox drop-off indicator is probably the pinnacle of indicators. It's retailing around €21.72 in store, and what you have is basically an arm attached to a little collar which is then fixed to your bank stick. The arm has a sliding weight on it, and then a very big, huge, bulbous, luminous orange head that can be seen from a good distance away. Not that you should ever be too far away from your fishing rods when you're pike fishing. At the top end you have basically 2 prongs and a gate, and what you do is you put the line in the 2 prongs, close over the gate, and the great thing about it is you can adjust by twisting the front of the head. You can adjust how sensitive the gate is. So if you want it so that the minute the fish picks up the bait and starts to move off with it, it pops open the gate, you can do, or you can then tune it if you've got a very windy day where the gate keeps opening up on you. You can twist the head slightly and the gate will then lock a little bit tighter, so that it will take a little bit more force of the fish pulling it out. The sliding collar, basically it's a weighted, I think it's about a 2-ounce weight, and what that allows you to do is when you're fishing at extreme range, which I am doing, I have my boat with me and I've been dropping out baits all morning to about 120 yards out. So I need to have a very effective system at that range to make sure that I get immediate registration from the fish. So I'm using heavy leads further out, and I'm also using a heavy lead actually on the pike indicator head here, the Fox head. And when it's set right up here, right next to the orange part, the very head part, it allows it for it to become a very heavy weighted indicator, so that the minute a fish touches it, if it swims towards us in any shape or form, it will actually have the power to drop down and pull the line back. Now if I was fishing, say, a more delicate presentation closer in, maybe 10-15 yards out, I might even have the weight all the way down to the bottom here to allow for a much more soft and more delicate presentation. I tend to fish always open bail arm. A lot of guys I'm fishing with these days are all moving over to fishing it in a bait runner system, or, you know, untightening the drag on a quick drag. Personally, I'm just not happy with that. I personally believe that once a pike picks up a bait, if it feels any resistance at all, it can spit it out. I find by having, you know, it set up with a bait runner system, it's just not my preferred method. The great thing about the indicators I'm using, it allows me fish open bail arm with no line pulling or falling off while I'm waiting. I'm using the Ultegra CI4s, the 5500s. These are married up to the 12-foot Free Spirit Pike Tamer rods, and I have to tell you, it's a wicked combination, and it's one that won't break the bank either. The Pike Tamer rods are absolutely glorious to play a fish on. That through action is just, you know, it's magic, it's stupendous. At the front I'm using alarms. The alarms marry up with the drop-off indicators, and I need an alarm so I have an audible indication that something's happening. I'm using Fox NTXRs, but you can use pretty much any standard roller alarm or vibration alarm on the market, whether it be Delcom's, Fox, Sundridge. Doesn't matter which type you use, but I always suggest that you use some sort of audible alarm with drop-offs. So that's been a quick look at what is arguably the pinnacle of drop-off alarms or drop-off indicator systems on the market. Fox do seem to make some very good pike gear, and if you're in the market for it, I definitely reckon you should come into the store and check it out. This has been Jerry on a very cold January day, and we'll talk to you soon.